subscribers. This is Zoom Photography. I realized there was a need to do this video because colleagues of mine have been calling me to teach them how I do my macro photography. I love macro photography. I veered into macro photography when I see the beauty that you can bring out of very tiny things that people do not normally see. So I tried to investigate, went to YouTube to find out how it's done, and I found few techniques. Even though at that time I was not having money to buy gears, I found a cheap way to do macro. It wasn't easy, but it helped to do the macro photography. So let's talk about the gear I use. I started by using my 18 to 55mm lens Nikon. A kit lens that comes with Nikon cameras. So I got to know of a technique called reverse lens technique. Reverse lens technique, whereby you get good magnification by mounting the front of your lens, to your camera instead of the rear to your camera. So I start by mounting the front of the lens to the camera, and then I have to open the aperture, adjust the aperture per this knob right here. There's a knob, don't know if you can see this very knob. I will adjust it to close and open the aperture. In macro photography, you need to close down the aperture so you get a lot of things in focus. If you open the aperture wide, you realize that most part of your image or your subject is blurred. Therefore, I usually stay around between f9 to f13 thereabouts, or sometimes I go f16, depending on how much sharpness or how much I want the object to be in focus. And by so doing, by closing down the aperture, you are cutting down light. Therefore, you have to find a way of bringing light. Onto the scene. That's why mostly you have to use flash. You have to use flash to compensate for the closing down of aperture. Later on, I bought a ring from NK. Say hi to NK. So he got me this, I don't know how much, very cheap. So then I can mount the thread on part of my lens, screw it down, tightly screw it. Then I can mount this part to the camera, just like this. First of all, I have to take off this lens. I can now mount the lens to the camera like this. The knob here with one finger this way. Hope you can see. Yeah. So let's try taking some pictures with this sequence. Okay, let me find a subject. Bead. Let's try to take a photograph of this bead. Alright. When I started, I used to go in live view mode. And one thing, when you mount the flash and the flash is not a high-speed sync compliant flash, don't exceed, for this camera, the sync speed I think is 250 of a second. So I usually, the highest I'll go is 200 of a second. And then I control it here manually. And then go to a lower ISO as possible to avoid noise in your photo. Right, so I put it on live view. I open the aperture. The knob here. Now let me show you how it is from I don't know if you can see. I don't have anybody here to help me. Hope you can see how close you can get on objects. So you close down the aperture a bit before taking your shot. Flash is sleeping. Yeah, see? Yeah, that's more like it. Nikon 105. We can get closer. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. This is from a macro lens. Hope you can see clear. Yeah, so that's how I do my macro. You have to be creative, especially when you are taking things like wedding ring and all that. We'll do a wedding ring. Since this is my first video, we'll be doing series of macro. We'll do insects, we'll do eyes, you just name it. We'll do rings. Today let's put this in a flower, this bead in a flower, and to see how it comes in a flower just like this. Yep, hope you can see. Yeah, right here. The focus is worrying. You better use manual focusing because it's manually. Sometimes I find it useful to focus manually than using the it's in focus now. Then I take my shot. Yeah. Need more light to bounce on me, so my bounce card is stuck. Okay, so focus. Take my shot. Nice. Yeah, so I'll show this to you. Alright, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like my page, subscribe, and click the bell so that you get notification whenever I release videos. Thank you for encouraging me to do this. Happy shooting. Bye.